So we are back on some more Modern Warfare Zombies, and today we're going to be heading on back into the new Dark Aether once again because I'm missing one of the last schematics, and that would be the bloodburner key. So hopefully we're going to get that today. And I also just kind of want to showcase why I think this game mode is kind of special, and then I just kind of want to talk about the Season 2 Reloaded update for a little bit. So with that, welcome on back to the channel, everybody. If y'all don't know, my name is Ghost. I appreciate everybody that stops by the video today. If you're into zombies content or anything Call of Duty, consider smashing that like button, man, and subscribing to the channel. We just hit 12,000 subscribers, and we're already on the road to 13, and I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support. So when I initially started this match, I actually came in here solo, and I was going to go into the new Dark Aether, but I only had the regular sigil, and I was going to be looking for one of those elder sigils so I could come back in here. Well, I ended up running into a squad that was doing some contracts in the red tier zone, and I overheard them through proximity chat say that they were going to be going into the elder Dark Aether, and then they invited me to their squad, so I definitely joined them. Now, I usually do like to run solo, but I knew that this would probably save me a run. I've been in the elder Dark Aether and just in the regular Dark Aether several times yesterday, so I kind of wanted to get this over with. Not to say that I wasn't enjoying myself, because I definitely was, but yeah, I can only take doing something repeatedly for so long. What was also kind of a shock too is that when I came in here with this squad, I didn't even really have to go after the bunnies or anything. Like when I had to come in here with a few other squads before, usually I was the one that had to run around and kind of show everybody where everything was, but this guy seemed to know where everything was at, so it made it way easier on me. The only bunny that I had to grab the entire time was the first one, and he was heading straight forward. I don't know why he didn't jump in the window, but this is one of the things that I think makes this game mode incredibly cool, is that you can come at it from so many different angles. Whether you planned on starting something solo and then you end up joining with another squad, you can play with that squad for quite a while and then you can leave if you want to. And there's just so many instances that when people are playing together, or even just when they're with random people and they do contracts and like they're getting schematics and rewards that they already have or stuff that they don't want, everybody's always dropping stuff for other players. One of the guys that I was with in this match ended up dropping 2 VR11 cases for people because he's just like, I've been getting a bunch of these things over the last day or two and I don't really want them anymore. So I'm like, that's really nice, man. It just goes to kind of show you that there is a very non-toxic side of Call of Duty. Yes, there is toxic people in the zombies community, don't get me wrong, but over here the majority of us are just very welcoming, and you know, it's a very nice and refreshing thing to see in the Call of Duty scene for sure. And to be 100% perfectly honest, if you guys want to know the best way to get the best loot and the easiest way to get like all the schematics and stuff like that is right here. Like you can tell in this contract right here, I didn't even really have to shoot anything, to be perfectly honest. I kind of felt like I was just standing there. Now there is certain instances where this is kind of going to be the other way around. Like for the red worm, the health for the red worm kind of scales with the amount of people that are on your squad. But if like you're coming in here into the Dark Aether and you're doing these contracts, if you're trying to attempt to do them solo, they are definitely possible, and there's a bunch of ways that you can make doing these things solo easy. I'm definitely guilty of farming those types of videos myself, but ultimately if you're coming in here with a big squad and doing these contracts, it's going to make things 1,000 times easier on you. We were able to kill the HVT Mega Abomination in nearly mere seconds while we were doing the holdout mission, which is definitely probably the hardest mission to do here in the Dark Aether. I didn't even really feel like I had to shoot anything. Then once we moved on over to do the ether extractors, each one of us did those at the same time, so we got that one done really fast. Ultimately doing these things with a team is going to be making these things 1,000 times easier on you, but honestly I do get it. I like to run solo a lot of the times myself, and that is why I like to put out a lot of solo guides. By the way, speaking of guides, if you guys are still wondering how to open up the Dark Aether, maybe you're still looking for those parts or you need to upgrade them, whatever the case may be, I will have a link down in the description for my previous video that goes over all of that. Overall, I do have to say I'm pretty happy with this update so far. I really do like the addition of the new Dark Aether. I think it's a bit better than the previous one that we had. The play space seems like it's a lot bigger. Personally, I'm a big fan that they switched out the escort contract for an HVT. I think that was a great move. I do think they could have kind of did something else with the other contracts, but that's all right. This Dark Aether is definitely 100%. If you want to come in here and actually complete this thing, it is definitely way more solo player friendly. In order to complete the first Dark Aether, like if you didn't have that VR11 case to repair that escort, you were pretty much just fucked. Now in this one, since you only have an HVT, a holdout, and then you got to do those ether extractors, this one is definitely way more solo player friendly. So collecting these schematics shouldn't be too difficult for you guys. Even though they don't spawn every run, you might have to make multiple runs in here before you get them, but I have heard people say that they either get them on one run or that they get them on just 2 runs. I had to make several before I finally got all 3 of them, but I do think that they did an excellent job on the rewards in here. Like every contract that I have completed in here always drops me something good, whether it's it's the Mags of Holding, the bloodburner key, I've gotten the golden armor plate. I think you can get pretty much all of the classified acquisitions from any of these contracts. So coming in here, even with a regular sigil just for the loot, from my experience so far, has definitely been good. And that's another thing, I had to do the story mission a few times, so I had to fight that boss quite a few times, and every time that I defeated him, he ended up dropping me a wonder weapons case and something else. Like, it's just good loot, which thank you guys, because before, like when we got the new warlord, every time I beat her, we got absolutely nothing, which I think is tragic. Like, how are you guys gonna put a boss in the game mode and then once we defeat them, we get absolutely no loot, like just a perk can? And what? I actually haven't killed the new warlord. I'm gonna have to go and try to do that today and see what kind of rewards that we're gonna get from them, but at least from coming in here to the Dark Aether, they did a good job. And I do also really like the fact that they finally brought those exfil streaks in, so now if you have a character that has exfilled quite a few times, like, you get reduced prices on perks and pack-a-punch and things like that, which is a really cool addition to see to the game. It does finally feel like Modern Warfare Zombies might be getting a little bit of quality of life updates, which is a breath of fresh air, and just maybe, I think there might be some really big updates that are going to be coming around the corner for this thing. But yeah, so far I think that the Season 2 Reloaded update is definitely a W. I like the new Dark Aether, I like the new boss, even though he's not really a new boss. At least it's not a worm, and when you defeat him, he does give you really good rewards, and you can go in there and defeat him every single match if you wanted to. Granted, you do have to sit through a cutscene that you cannot skip, and then if you leave the match, you'll lose everything in your backpack, like I realized in this last game, and I was so pissed. So as long as you don't do that, you should be okay. We got new schematics, we got a new warlord. Yeah, I think this update is definitely cool. I think it's something that this game definitely needed. Now I really think it's gonna be time in season 3 or 4. We need a new map. Come on guys, we need that Fortune's Keep, or maybe bring us Rebirth Island. Like, give us that. Honestly, if they skip out on using Alcatraz and feeding off of that nostalgia of like Mob of the Dead, Blood of the Dead type thing, you know, I think they'd be missing out on a big opportunity right there. But the fact that it's been well over 24 hours and I still have new content to explore, I haven't done everything yet. I'm going to be going back into the Dark Aether today and spending a lot of time in there, seeing if I can find any more Easter eggs or just different things to do. Definitely has me a little bit pleased with the update, and I can't wait to see what they have coming in the future for this game. That's going to be about it, guys. We ended up getting our bloodburner key schematics in this run here, and this guy tried dropping another VR11 case. I tried dropping my Mags of Holding schematic because I already had it. Yeah, I greatly appreciate everybody that checked out the video. Thank you guys all so much. I hope you guys are enjoying Season 2 Reloaded. There's going to be a video that's popping up on the screen right about here that'll teach you guys everything you need to know about the new Dark Aether. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you in the next one.